You all to the Jason Beck Show. I'm your host, Jason Beck. And on tonight's show, we're going to be talking about craziness in 2020. I mean, you look back. I want you all to look back. And it could be things that maybe happened in your personal life, things that have went on. But 2020, looking back in my life, started with surgery, hernia surgery. Had to get my appendix removed on December 30th. A month later, one of my sisters passed away. So, and then that wasn't all. You know, grandma passed away. My grandma, a lot of things happened. I've had a lot of people have passed away. Friends, family, you name it. It's happened in 2020. Then we had the virus. We were watching in what was going on in China to see what happened. And then, one by one, you saw countries getting locked down. And it's crazy. So for one, it's just, I guess the word that I'm looking for is, I wouldn't just say crazy. It is insane, with like I said, with the virus and everything that man, and that's not including just the, you with the lockdown, you've had the economy just kind of tank because, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people, that can't go to work. And if you can't go to work, what happens? You're not bringing any money in. Yes, the government sent us that stimulus check, and that helped for a lot of us for a month, but then it's like, okay, what about next month and the month after that? A lot of people were turning to also the gig economy work as well, or having to get jobs as an essential worker just to make things afloat. And then a lot of the essential workers, some of them were getting sick with COVID-19. So basically, there you go. It's like one thing after another thing after another thing. I'd have to say the best highlight so far of this year is the SpaceX and NASA launch that we just watched over the weekend. That was a good moment for not just America but the whole world to be able to watch that. The fact that our President of the United States, that was his goal, is to get America back into space, and we did. And we did. We hit that goal, and I think, I agree with the President. Next step, go to the moon again. Absolutely. Why not? But let's look at what else has happened in 2020. So it started, a lot of us, we've lost loved ones, we've lost friends, we went into a lockdown because of the virus. A lot of people lost their jobs. And then just recently, you have excessive force by police officers. And that, I watched the video. I think a lot of us did. Unnecessary. Already had the man on the ground, handcuffed. You don't need to sit there and block the man's airways to where he cannot breathe. And I agree with all of you wanting justice. And we should have justice, but in the right way. The riots, the looting, the beating people up in these demonstrations, and and the people that are going overboard, is not the answer. If you want to fight violence, fighting violence with violence is not the way to do it. The way to do it is through diplomacy, through peaceful protests, by getting out there and voting for elected officials that'll go in there and make a difference in what you want achieved. It's not striking back, not burning up buildings that entrepreneurs have saved up their whole life and their whole savings to build a business, and then you just ripped that dream away from them. You just ripped someone's way of making money just because you were upset at what happened. And you decided, oh, let's go burn someone's building down. Oh, let's burn the cop cars down. That is not the answer, folks. That is not the way to go about it. The way to go about it is through talking, through voting, through peace, through proper protesting, not illegal protesting and going overboard and beating people up and all the stuff that has been going on in our cities and nationwide. You want things done, do things the right way. And I am sure there are a lot of not just Americans, but people worldwide that would totally agree with me as far as how to handle this situation. So let's take a look at what else has happened in 2020. So you had the riots, and then in Venezuela, about that ship and stuff. So it's like, wow. It's like, okay. And then I forget the state, I think it was Washington. You had that meteor that hit down. I don't think a lot of people have heard about it, but, then there's talk of Atlas and Comet and all these theories on, it may have an atmosphere, it's broken up, is Planet X or Planet 9 or Nibiru, is it getting ready to pass the Earth again? So there's a lot of talk and a lot of speculation, a lot of stuff going on. There was a trailer that was taken down off of YouTube, a movie trailer, Greenland. Basically the movie portrays asteroids or meteors hitting the Earth, causing catastrophic damage that the only way that you can survive it is getting into a bunker, and it stars Gerard Butler in the movie, and he's trying to get his family to a bunker. I mean, talk about an intense movie, but a realistic movie. I mean, think about it. Let's just say, what if there was more, and there were a lot of theories going on, what if there was more to the lockdowns than just the virus? I mean, it's crazy, but what if? Could be. What if there was an interstellar war going on in space, and and the governments knew about it, and were like, well, this virus is going around anyways, let's go ahead and lock down all the countries. I'm just saying. I mean, it wouldn't be that, we had crazier stuff that's happened in this world, in this lifetime. So it very well could be a possibility. Yeah. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comments, anything. About what do you think of? What are you thinking about 2020? When you think 2020 and compare it to another year, what are you thinking? What struggles have you faced? But it's not just the struggles, There are some good moments. I mean, far and few between, but, think about it. I think one thing that we can take away is through this pandemic is learning to appreciate our essential workers. From delivery drivers to nurses to firefighters to cops to the army. Everyone that is an essential worker. Doctors, people that were grocery workers, people on the front lines that were putting blood, sweat, and tears into doing what they need to do to keep people safe and people fed, of course. So I think sometimes we don't give them enough recognition, and I think we need to give them more. And this goes for every essential worker. People working in meat factories, people working at plants, people, doing grocery shopping for Instacart and Shipt and Favor, and all the delivery drivers from DoorDash to Uber Eats to Grubhub to Postmates to DoorDash that are on the front lines of delivering food to people. And one thing that I want to say to being an independent delivery driver is another thing that's happened through this pandemic. Scammers are starting to come out too. And this is what I say, if any of you are scammers and you're listening, what you're doing is wrong and illegal. It doesn't matter what type of scamming you're doing, it's illegal. And it's not right. You could cost someone their job. Too many times I've heard of and I was in the recent part of a scam. Where I had a customer last night that I had a conversation with, left her food, took the picture of the food, forgot to send the picture, but I sent it, you better believe I sent it to the delivery company, and that there's their food. It was at the door. Had a conversation with the lady. She came out and got her food, then tried to lie about it and pull a scam. Where are you? And was just really rude and mean. It's people like that, man, you wonder about. My theory is just put them all on a deserted island. Maybe not deserted, an island that has food and stuff they can fend for themselves. Because they cost people their jobs. A lot of drivers have gotten deactivated, or people have lost their jobs because of scammers. And that is not right. Our countries need to have safeguards against this type of behavior. Against scammers out there, they're trying to scam people for money. They're trying to scam companies to get free food and free groceries. If you are that desperately hungry, and you then you should not be ordering food. You need to be taking yourself to the food pantries and getting food there. Not lying and trying to manipulate systems and people. But that's not the only thing that's happened this year. Think about all the kids that were in school that couldn't go to school, had to stay at home with abusive parents. You heard me. And if you're listening and you're one of those parents that is abusive to your kids, that is not right. You need help. You're sick. You're messed up in the head. You need to go to jail. You need help. But you don't deserve the right to be a parent. So what about all those kids School was their outlet to be away from the difficult situation at home. We need to do more to fix our countries, to fix the family situations in our countries. Not everyone is fit to be a parent. And to be honest, being someone that came from an abusive home, I know exactly what they're going through. You have one spouse that's a perfect parent, that's afraid to say anything, afraid to do anything. I tell you, don't be afraid anymore. If your kids and you are in a bad situation, you need to get out of that situation. You need to remove yourself from that person that is being abusive. So that's one more thing that you can just add on to 2020. And I'm sure there's a whole lot more that you can throw in the kettle there. A lot more bad stuff and stuff that's happened and negative stuff. But there are some positives out of this. There are positive stuff that's happened. Yes, it's more craziness that's happened than, good stuff. And we're not even done with the year yet. We're almost approaching half, through the halfway point. So we still have summer to get through. We ends fall and part of winter to get through to get to 2021. And there's a chance there still could be a second wave from this virus. There's a chance that, other things could escalate, other things could happen. There's a lot that can still happen in this world. But how you act and how you respond determines the outcome in your life. If you respond negative or respond in violence, or are you going to respond in a good, in a positive light, in a positive way? We all have choices every day. How we're going to live our life, how we're going to act, how we're going to treat our families and our friends and the people around us. Are we going to allow our inner demons to take over? Are we going to allow our mental issues to take over? Or are we, as people, going to be accountable for our actions? And if we need help, get the help that we need. I think 2020 is also a check year. Check yourself. What have you done lately? What are you doing? What good, what bad have you done? And fix it. Fix it. Make your life a better life. Make you a better you. If you've wronged anyone, go back and apologize to them. If you need help with something, go get the help that you need. If you're in an abusive situation, get out of it. If your governments and CDC and your health officials in your countries have advised you to wear a mask, then you need to wear a mask. You need to think about others. Think more about others. It's not just about you. Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time, but I hope this helps. I hope I've reached out to, or can reach out to, as many people as possible. As far as we need to do better. As a human race, we need to do better. All of us. We need to stop the hate. We need to stop the violence. We need to stop the racism. We need to put that all to a stop. and start showing a little more compassion and kindness and love. And if you're not capable of that, or you're struggling with a mental issue that keeps you from doing that, then we need to get you help. You need to get help. We all need, if that's the case, a person needs to decide to get help, or their family and friends need to get them help. But it's time to stop making excuses. It's time to stop fighting over so many things. It's time to come together and unite. It's time to pick up your faith again. So my challenge to each and every one of you is to be a better person. To find what you need to do to be a better person. And work together in making our communities and our countries a better place to live for everybody. And I would say this to every government out there. If your people are asking for change in a positive way, maybe you need to think more of changing to be a better government. Better people. Stop dividing. Stop the hate. Stop the violence. Stop it all that we do not need in this world. Go out there, live a better life, help the people among you, love people, get involved in your communities. Don't just sit on your butt playing video games and watching TV. Get out there and make a difference. Do something more positive in your life. I love each and every one of you. And I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Goodbye.